But it is a word that just brings out those, and extremely negative feelings, and it has a history of it. And and any time you look at any real racial issues that pop up,
there it is.
It's there, ugly as ever, sitting right there. So
well, and actually they put in laws that if I was to get in a fight with a black man and I'm beating him down and calling him a nigger while I'm doing it, then I have not only the charges of
assault, but you've now got some federal offenses.
Yes, it's a hate crime.
It becomes a hate crime.
Yeah. So again, you gotta watch what you say, because first of all, it's inappropriate, and I agree with you. If the word can disappear, it would be great. I've been around white friends that knew that I'm not seeing things black and white anymore, who would throw it out there, oh, this stupid, and they throw the N-word out, which I'm using it that way now. Mm-hmm. They throw the N-word out because they were talking about a group of blacks, or they were talking about a specific black. And I've had people actually say, well, don't say that around Mark because he doesn't like that. And it's true. I don't. I hate the word, because, again, I know the power that word has, and it can make a person snap. And is that what you want? Really? Is that what you want? You want to piss somebody off to a point?
And quite recently, the whole N-word was brought up in the Huckleberry Finn book, and the erasing of the word in that book. And,
And what's your opinion on that?
Well, it's history. I would not change that book, because once you do change or try to rewrite history, which is what it's doing, you rewrite history, then you're doomed to repeat it.
Right.
So, that's how the book was written. I would not take that word out of the book.
So does American society go in, and I like using this term, whitewash everything so the N-word doesn't exist anymore? Or do we say that was a place in time, it was an ugly period within our country where we did use that, and do we leave it because seriously, it's part of the history of America? And I know what they're gonna send emails. They're gonna say, yeah, but it didn't affect you. I get that, okay? But it's part of what America was, and it leads us to where we are now. Do we eliminate that, or do we look at it and we go, wow, what a dark period in our country?
Yeah, we look and we say it's a dark period. You don't erase things and change things to get history, to change up history. You take history, you understand history, and you learn from history. So changing that word in that book would be trying to say, oh, things weren't like that back then.
Which they were.
In 30 years from now, when people read the book, they would go, oh, okay, well, this was pretty clean and there was nothing, but that's not true. So you need to leave history as it is. Use of the N-word, nowadays, again, and I hear it. You hear it on talk radio, and they talk about it constantly. But it is just a word that, certain people, Hispanics may be able to use it faster than your white people can use it, and that's just part of our culture, and we've sort of embraced it in a different sort of way, and it doesn't mean to us the same as it meant, back in the 40s and 50s.
Right.
It's a slang. It's become a slang. So, there is going to be no answer for this, Mark.
I know, right?
Except be careful if you use it.
Well, I don't. I don't anymore. Once upon a time, man, it was the best word in the world. I'd throw it out there in a blink of an eye. If I see something I didn't like, it was that, and I'd throw it out there. And if I was to if it was a black person, I wanted to be derogatory, I'd say it. And you know what? That stuff has an impact. And if you're gonna say it, then you better be a really good boxer or a really fast runner, because you deserve whatever comes with it. Yeah. Because seriously, you just don't do that. It's not accepted this time and day. But you don't go back and, like you said, you don't erase history. I think the best thing in the world is for us to know where we came from and what it was. Because when you start eliminating things, and then the history of the world changes. Yeah, yeah. You know, that's like and I don't want to go off this too much, but that's like I heard somebody say, well, I don't know all the Jews were killed during World War II. things that are specific need to stay that way, so you can look back, you can go, oh my God, really?
Right.
And then you grow from there.
Right. And you grow and you learn not to redo what you've done already and do it all over again. So you have to learn from your history. So, you know, the N-word is a word that will continue to be controversial because it'll pop up in your rap songs, and it'll pop up with kids on the street and nigga this and yo up, what up nigga, and all this, and then white people will look and go, God, I can't believe if I say that word to them, they're gonna be all pissed off. But yeah, that's just how it is.
All right, so next time we're riding together, don't be putting any music that says nigger this or nigger that, because if I sing it, you're gonna go psh, and I'm gonna go, what was that for?
Well, they blank it out on the radio.
No, I meant on your CDs. So, yeah. I don't need to be getting smacked for no reason.
I don't know. I like Whitney Houston. Those guys, they don't use them words.
Oh, there you go.
Will Smith, he never uses it. So
that's true.
Right,
that's true.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So the whole concept of the N-word, you know, as far as if you're white, stay clear of it, because you're bringing it upon yourself. It's easy not to say the word.
Yeah, and if you're black, you really shouldn't use the word. Again, the historical place and, you know, what was said and how it was used to degrade blacks in the past is not a word that really should be used anyway either.
Oh, hold it. I do have a question though. Well, with that said about blacks, if blacks were with blacks, couldn't they just say it to each other? I mean, as long as there isn't other groups hearing it. I mean, do you give them that pass?
And they do, and it's just like any culture that are talking to each other within their own group. They say stuff.
Right.
You know, they say stuff to each other that they only understand and is only pertaining
tolerable
to them.
Within the group.
Within the group.
Right.
So,
okay.
I mean, that's just a norm that happens, and yeah, we will do that too. You know, we'll talk and we'll you know, but again, it's not a word that I try to use very often. I try not to use it, and even in the rap songs, I'll blank over it or whatever, and stuff too. So, yeah, it's just not something. It's something that should die away. But
I hear it. I do hear it out when I'm out and about, and I don't. And I'm not just talking music. I actually hear people saying it to each other. Yeah. And you know, I don't know. I can't sit there and tell a black person not to say that word, because I don't feel like
my brother-in-law will walk into the house and I'll go, "Yo, what up, Nig?"
Right.
You know. It's just that. It's not a, you know. Again, it's something. But if I walked into your house and you go, "What up, Nig?" Well, from you, I would just laugh at it.
But I've never even brought that word out between us, and we've been friends for a very long time.
Yeah.
So, like I said, that's not in my vocabulary anymore. Don't think it doesn't shoot through my head, because you can't say that you're not something, you know, that you don't remember what was put in your head once upon a time.
Oh, and everybody has that. I mean, if you're driving down the street and an Asian person cuts you off or slows down in front, you think of the worst derogatory word. Right. I mean, so it's not something that it will ever be out of anybody's head, because you do that.
Oh, and speaking of which, I've had a word for every group that is possible.
Oh yes,
right.
And that's why I loved Archie Bunker.
Because he wasn't specific to one group.
He hit every single group. I remember a show. He hit every single group.
So did Jefferson too, which was nice.
They were able to do that because it wasn't specific to one group.
Right. So it didn't look like it was leaning against a specific
group.
Right.
It was just everything. It's somewhat like our South Park of today.
Exactly.
That hits upon everyone, everything, and everything.
And religion. Believe me.
So. Okay. We'll. I mean, there's no final answer for this. No. So, but you know, it's a great discussion to hear what each side is thinking, and you know, and out there, if you guys have questions, and absolutely come on, send us your emails, and we'll see if we can answer it in a later segment.